Senator Raphael Warnock wins, Herschel Walker loses. Herschel damn Walker, excuse me. So this was really interesting. Not only does Senator Warnock win, Donald Trump's company is found guilty of tax fraud. And I got some other things that are worthy of note. Let's go directly to the victory speech, part of that from Senator Warnock.
It is my honor to utter the four most powerful words ever spoken in a democracy. The people have spoken. I want to say thank you to my mother, who is here tonight. You'll see her in a little while. But she grew up in the 1950s in Waycross, Georgia, picking somebody else's cotton and somebody else's tobacco. But tonight she helped pick her youngest son to be a United States Senator. Are you ready, Georgia? I'm ready. Stand up for workers, to stand up for women, to stand up for our children. I'm ready to build a stronger Georgia. God bless you. Keep the faith and keep looking up.
Amen. Now, Herschel Walker gave his concession speech. Here it is.
I got a chance to meet all you and to hear what you guys feel about this country. And I got a chance for you guys to tell me what you do feel about this country. I got a chance to go into your homes, got a chance that you invested in Herschel Walker. And I thank you. And I thank you so much. And as I said, we can't blame no one, because I want you to continue to believe in this country, believe in our elected officials, and most of all, stay together. Don't let anyone separate you. Don't let anyone tell you that we can't, because I'm here to tell you we can. And I'm here to tell you we can. And as I said early on, God is good, and he's a good God all the time. He's a good God. So I want to say, I'm never going to stop fighting for Georgia. I'm never going to stop fighting for you, because you're my family. Because I always, I'm a winner. Hey, we all winners. So we're all winners. And that's what I want to say. We're all winners. And I want to say, God is a good God. God bless you guys. And let me tell you, stay together. Continue to believe in our elected official. Always, always cast your votes, no matter whatever is happening. Cast your vote for all that. And God we trust. I do. In God we trust. Continue to cast your vote. Never, never, never give up. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you guys. Now, thank you.
Sorry, Herschel, you are a loser. And you are a loser in more ways than one. I will say this about his speech. It was actually the most coherent speech he made during the entire campaign. I believe that Herschel Walker was relieved that he lost. I think he was ready to lose. I think he was ready to make that speech and continue moving on with his life. Now, here's the thing. Just as the Republicans attempted to manipulate black voters in the state of Georgia by putting up a black face with a bigoted white agenda, they manipulated him too. They exploited him as well. As a matter of fact, his son, Herschel Walker's son, called it out. Let's put up the picture of Christian Walker, who became part of this campaign. On Tuesday night, Christian Walker took to Twitter to castigate his father in a series of tweets. Don't beat women, he said. Hold guns to people's heads. Fund abortions. Then pretend that you're pro-life. Stalk cheerleaders. Leave your multiple minor children alone to chase more fame. Lie, lie, lie. Say stupid stuff and make a fool of your family, he wrote. And then maybe you could win a Senate seat, his son says. Now, what happened here? I know Democrats are celebrating in the state of Georgia, rightfully so. But let me go ahead and provide some context for you. Herschel Walker literally was the worst candidate they could find. You have proven in the state of Georgia, you can beat a rock running for the US Senate. The reality is this: the demographics of Georgia still favor a Republican nominee. You still have a Republican governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, commissioner of labor, attorney general, and the list goes on. Yes, we have Senator Warnock. Yes, we have Senator Ossoff, but don't think the natural demographics are going to be enough. You have to become more aggressive. Warnock wins, yes, it's a victory, but it is a slim victory with one of the worst candidates the Republicans could find. Additional news, Donald Trump, his organization, found guilty. Let me give you some background to this. A Manhattan jury has found that the Trump organization, they are guilty on multiple charges of criminal tax fraud. Now you hear the word, it says criminal tax fraud and falsifying business records connected to a 15-year scheme to defraud tax authorities by failing to report and pay taxes on compensation for top executives. The Trump Corporation and Trump Payroll Corp were found guilty on all charges they faced. You may be wondering, well, wait a minute. So who's going to jail? We see the word criminal, we see the word fraud, we see the word tax. Who's getting locked up? Because I guarantee you, if this would have been the report on me, you, anybody else, somebody would be going to prison. So is Donald Trump going to jail? Is his children? Who? Donald Trump and his family were not charged in this case, but the former president was mentioned repeatedly during the trial by prosecutors about his connection to the benefits doled out to certain executives, including company-funded apartments, car leases, and personal expenses. All right, that's criminal conduct. And the Manhattan DA has somewhat vacillated on the idea of actually prosecuting people in the Trump organization, including Donald Trump himself. The proof is here, no question about it. Either we are a democracy where no one is above the law, or that's just a slogan that means absolutely nothing. The president has constitutional authority. A former president does not. I'm still baffled. How did Republicans get Bill Clinton under oath while he was president of the United States, but they can't do it to Trump when he's no longer president of the United States? Also, the Trump organization could face a maximum of $1.61 million in fines when sentenced in mid-January. Oh, great, the company will be sentenced in mid-January. The company is not at risk of being dismantled. Why? Because there is no mechanism under the New York law that would dissolve the company. However, a felony conviction could impact its ability to do business or obtain loans or contracts, and they will simply incorporate a new entity and move on. That's what would happen, okay? Now, if you recall, a few months ago, I had a conversation with Congressman Ro Khanna. This was about the January 6th committee and their unwillingness to submit a real criminal referral to the Department of Justice if they find criminal malfeasance. I said to the congressman on the show, if the DOJ finds in their investigation that a crime took place, they need to make a criminal referral to the prosecutors at the DOJ. Now remember the context of that conversation. This was during the time when one member of the committee said no referrals like that would be made, and another member of the committee said, hold your horses. We did not make that decision as a group yet. And so the congressman came on the show and I said, this needs to happen. Here's part of that. Why do you think there's this hesitancy to, if they uncover criminal activity, to relay it to the DOJ in an official committee capacity?
Well, they should relay their findings officially to the Justice Department. I think what they can't do is recommend to a prosecutor whether to charge someone or not, and that's just congressional ethics.
All right, so during that interview, I disagree with the congressional ethics. It's a made-up rule. It's not written anywhere. It's just something they do, okay? Now, what has happened? The House Select Committee, they have agreed to make criminal referrals to the Department of Justice at the conclusion of their investigation into the January 6th insurrection. And legal experts expect Donald Trump will be one of their targets. All right. Attorney at law, Dina, how do you see all of this?
I've always thought that Donald Trump would be the first president to kind of be convicted and in jail, whether or not he's actually ever serves a sentence. But certainly I would say the circle is tightening. Now with the January 6th referral, I think we're going to for sure see some of his attorneys be indicted. And this is a pattern. We already saw Michael Cohen, one of his attorneys, convicted, even though Donald Trump was the other side of that campaign violation, but he never got implicated on that. Mar-a-Lago, we're gonna see one of the attorneys they're gonna claim they falsified the affidavit. So a lot of times, being an attorney, I know you're going to be an attorney soon. A lot of times the attorney is the one who kind of takes the fall. I think we're going to see that here. Whether or not they can kind of pierce that and go to Donald Trump himself, I think matters more probably like the political will, because indicting a former president is so huge. I think though that the Republicans will be more supportive of that, maybe quietly and behind closed doors. But basically the DOJ will have done the work for them, because I think they know that at this point, President Trump would not be a good nominee. If he's indicted, that certainly paves the way for Ron DeSantis. And that is why I think there's more hope for Donald Trump to be indicted than maybe ever before, because I actually think both parties are kind of aligned in holding him accountable, maybe for different reasons. Then the question becomes, will a jury of 12 people ever even convict him? I think that's a whole separate matter, especially if we're talking about Mar-a-Lago and it's in Florida. Will 12 people in Florida be willing to convict President Donald Trump? So we're a long way, but I do think that there's so many things, the Georgia, the DOJ, the Mar-a-Lago. I think he will end up getting indicted in one of those at least, because I do think there will be a political will across the aisles for that.
I concur with your point about the fact that he may in fact be the first former president to be indicted. I agree with that. And I've also held the sentiment that who would convict him? What jury would actually convict Trump, given the very political nature of who he is and what it is, meaning the indictment. But I'm somewhat encouraged by the fact that the current investigation is truly being led by a jury. It's called the grand jury. So there are people in a group context who are reviewing evidence and saying, this is wrong, and I don't give a damn that he's the former president of the United States. And we'll continue to follow that as it develops.